Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Talks and Tea with me, Tonya Nicole. And in just a little bit, I'm going to have Briana joining me today. So come on in the room. Welcome, welcome. We're getting started. Tell your friends, grab your tea, and come on and let's talk tonight. Hello, everybody. So, welcome. I am really excited. Today, we're going to keep it short and sweet and have an awesome conversation tonight. Briana is going to be joining me in just a moment, but I just wanted to take a moment to just go over a few little welcome preliminaries. If you all have been joining my parent series, I have had the opportunity to talk with some really awesome moms and dads that have come on the platform and just shared some of their tips about how to be a fantastic parents. And one of the things that's very true to what we do here at Talks and Tea is just give an opportunity for us to have these conversations and to take what our goals are to another level. And that's whether your goals are parenting, our personal growth, or whatever they are, we want to elevate to that next level. So let's get started. Welcome. My name is Tonya Nicole. I'm the Universal Mama Bear. I'm a parent coach. I'm an international speaker and I'm an event creator. I am the host of the Round to It podcast for parents, as well as the creator of the Bridge Every Gap Institute, which hosts my private personal parenting 3-week boot camp for parents. Exactly. I'm accepting clients. So if you're interested, come on and join me. It's an awesome program, but it also takes a moment. We have a private Facebook community and a private community on Clubhouse. So check us out at the Bridge Every Gap. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we come on live and we do Talks and Tea. And so grab your tea, tell us what you're drinking, ask us questions, and stay engaged with us in the audience because we really believe that it is in starting these conversations and talking about things that are not always so common and what's for everyone to dismiss. We talk about them and bring them right out to the front so that we can start breaking down generational curses and start building up and growing generational legacy. So tearing down the negative, kicking it out, and boosting up the positive is what we're doing. Joining me today, I have Briana.
Hi, everybody.
Briana is a teenage entrepreneur. She has her own production company with a co-founder, another high schooler, and they do productions of bringing out issues and giving a voice to people who don't typically have an opportunity to be heard. You want to say anything else about who you are and what you do, Briana?
I am a senior in high school, and will be attending Spelman College in the fall, and I will be a computer science major while doing Air Force, not junior anymore, Air Force ROTC, so that I can achieve a lifelong goal of becoming a part of cybersecurity in the Air Force. I think that's about it. That's my summary. I do film, ROTC, and cyber. And I think those are my 3 things.
Awesome. Awesome. And it gives you a good balance. If you can't tell, she's over here applying for scholarships. So she's working hard. She knows what she's doing and she's on a mission. So we're here today. Tonight's tea, Grace rushed and got it for us because I wanted to make sure that we started on time. And sometimes when I do that, I forget the tea. So tonight's tea is Womankind. And it has cranberry, rose, and exotic vanilla. And our mug I got this really cool St. Patrick's Day mug from Target, and it says Sassy Lassie.
It's blue on the screen.
That's cool because it's a green screen.
Yeah.
So it's blue because it's green. But if you're on Instagram, it's just green because the green screen is just green. I didn't put a background. Sorry. What are you drinking tonight? Tell us. This is very hot, so I will try it, but not right now. Give me a few moments. Tonight, Briana and we were having a conversation, and I've had a lot of conversations. I'll tell you, if you're not on Clubhouse and you are an iPhone user or an iPad user, join it, because we have really good conversations in these rooms, and it's really helped to broaden even our conversations. I thought we talked before, but I feel like even now we talk even more because of the conversations that have been started. And we've talked about a lot of things even as of late. And one particular thing we were talking about today, Briana said to me a few weeks ago, she said, "Mom, you're being so passive aggressive." And I said, "Wait, no, Mom, I'm not passive aggressive. Like, that's not in my character." And it was funny because, or someone asked me that. I don't know. Somehow we talked about passive aggressive, and I was like, "No, I don't do passive aggressive, like just straight up. This is me. I don't like it. Like, I'll say it outright, or I'll say this is what you need to do." And so she was concluding that as passive aggressive.
Sure. That's what we were concluding.
So Briana had a story, and I'm going to let her tell the story, and we'd love your input on it. So share your input. Go ahead, Briana. Share your story. That was not passive aggressive.
No, I wasn't.
Oh,
I would
just making
You're
sure.
just making it weird, not passive, just weird.
Okay, tell your story.
So I'm gonna keep it brief. I had an event tonight at school.
Ah.
Are you okay?
Y'all, that tea is hot. I'm gonna wait. Like I said originally, I'm going to wait till at least you know I'm drinking tea. I apologize.
Anyways,
And back
tough.
to you.
That's tough right there. Anyways, I was at an event tonight for school, and I was talking to a friend of mine who I hadn't seen since last year, before COVID started, and we were chatting it up, and she was telling me about her ex-boyfriend, and I was like, "What? You guys broke up? That's crazy." I thought he was a good person. She's like, "No, he's a really bad person. He's a really bad person." So enter one of my friends who
Friends.
Yeah, we're no longer friends anymore for very horrible reasons. But we don't have any beef anymore. We're just not there anymore. So she walks up and starts engaging in the conversation, and I'm talking to the girl with the boyfriend, and I'm like, "This is crazy. I would have never thought." And she's like, "Yeah, he's not a good boyfriend. He might be a good person." And I said, "Yeah, I just thought he was a good person. Genuinely, I thought he was a good friend." And my ex-friend had said, "Yeah, I know, you would think that, like, he's not really a good person. Like, he might have been, but he's not now." And I was like, "Yeah, I usually have a bad judgment when it comes to picking out friends, but it is what it is." And then we just continued our conversation.
So the moral of this story is I shared with her that was a prime example of passive aggression, like of being passively aggressive. Passive aggression.
You want to drink a tea?
No. And so we were just talking about that. And I think it's interesting because even as if you're raising children, if you are, a person in and of yourself, if you're human, you deal with different people, right? And you deal with different relationships and different attitudes and behaviors, and understanding that about people and who they are. What is the reason why people feel that being passive aggressive is better than not? So why did you feel that way was the best way to handle it versus just outright saying
what? What would be the outright version for my response?
I don't know. You could have just said, yeah, you were a bad friend.
Yeah.
You were a bad friend. I don't know. Like, I will say for me, and this is why I say I'm not either. I will shut my mouth and move on. And oftentimes that is misinterpreted as me being passive aggressive, but I really just, okay, I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to move on. Or I will address it head on
For me,
versus trying to do an underlining.
it was fun. To me. Um,
Val said they are nervous and don't know how to say what they need to say. That's a good basis for why to be passive
I
aggressive.
will say that in that moment, I didn't want to have a conversation. I was kind of just dismissing her. We're just not close. And so I didn't really want to associate with her much. So I kept talking to the friend that I was originally talking to, even though the other girl was in the conversation. I didn't ignore her or anything. But I didn't want to have that conversation with her. We've acknowledged what happened and moved on, but I was, like you said, it was probably the fact that I wasn't ready to have that straightforward conversation, but I did want to kind of let her know that we're not tight.
Things aren't okay. You're okay broken.
I'm broken, okay.
So if you don't know what that is, it is this, I don't know how popular it is, but it's supposed to be a mental health awareness where people often say they're okay. And so you see the word broken, and okay is big in the word broken, but then the word broken surrounds it. And so people may say they're okay, but it's really a lot of deep seated hurt inside of it.
And we don't, it's not something you're supposed to read. So we just say, oh, you're broken, okay. You're okay, broken.
Right, right. So even in that, I just find it interesting that a lot of times we automatically conclude as well. And I'm not saying that my way is better either. So, one, I think ignoring it is completely ludicrous because I realize as I'm communicating with people and things are going on and I have just moved past an issue, that even that isn't resolving it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times it's interpreted as everything is okay when it's just I didn't address it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say we had a situation because you and I, we clash sometimes.
We be beefing.
Right.
Moments.
Right. We do have our moments. And so when it comes down to that, us having our moments and things of that nature, we're both going to answer this. Okay. For you, answer what is something that a parent could do when you are having a mood, having a moment, and you want me to respond to you. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we said what Ms. Val said is that the passive aggressiveness and even like I was saying, ignoring it, sometimes you just don't know what to say. So what would be a good way that we could step back and instead of ignoring it or being passive aggressive, what is a way that we can actually address it so that it can be resolved, even if it's not exactly at that time, but so that we don't give the negativity?
I'm still not really understanding. Can you answer it first?
Sure.
What you think would be best?
Sure, because it's kind of a confusing question. Really, I'm thinking, what can I do differently? So if you do something that I don't really care for, instead of me just moving on and not addressing it, perhaps, and I know what y'all are thinking out there, just have the conversation. And yes, that makes sense. Have the conversation, but how could you receive it best? If I'm irritated with something, like something's just been digging, great example, when as of late, we've had this big issue with things being clean. And me really feeling I said disrespected, right? Because things just not clean. And in a way where it's like, hey, I'm going to bed. make sure the dishes are done. I wake up in the morning, dishes still aren't done, like deliberately.
I love how that's not me. You just called out one of your other kids. And they're not even here.
No, it's all
That's passive aggressive.
That's not passive aggressive conversation.
No, you just called out one of your kids and they're not even here.
Okay, Val says, let me just have my moment and we can come later to talk about it.
Here's 60 seconds.
But when I get up in the morning and your books, like, okay, but you do the dishes also, but your books are just kind of out, and I tell you every night, make sure it's straightened up, then that frustrates me. So it's either I'm not saying anything, or I'm going off. You have to whisper that for dramatic effect, or I'm going off. But what is a better way for you to receive it so that the behavior that I would like to see of you doing it without me asking and without me then subsequently having to react, what would you prefer?
Honestly, what you're doing is fine. I just need to get it together. No, I'm dead serious. You're perfect.
She lying.
No, I just need to get it together.
Seriously? That's not real. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all, I hate getting on these things and people aren't giving real talk. Like, what does Evan say? No cap! No capping!
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap! We're working on our current day lingo.
Me too, because Evan's up to date with everything.
He sat us
down at the table and was like, guys, I'm changing my vocabulary from tweaking to bugging.
You bugging.
Not you tweaking. He was like, he just sat us down and had to tell us that. He was like, so if you ever catch me saying tweaking, just tell me. I'm changing that.
He's hip.
Okay.
But no, for real. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect.
What?
Girl, stop.
You are? Exciting news. Side note, get a little alert bar at the bottom. Do you have one of those? Coming to America 2 comes out tomorrow.
Some people are previewing it tonight, and I'm a little jelly.
Ooh,
I want to see they're having an HBCU Buzz sneak previewing, but I knew better than to sign up because I missed the last one. Valerie says, how about we start with, this is how this makes me feel when you don't do the dishes and your books are out. Okay, I'm going to try that right now.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Val, this is good stuff. Let's
do this. Brr, brr, ma. It was High School Musical.
I gave you your moment. Okay. Briana.
Mommy.
When you don't do... No. It makes me feel...
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
It makes me feel frustrated, upset, and overwhelmed when you don't do the dishes and you leave your stuff out, like when you don't clean up after yourself, because it puts more strain on what I have to do.
I'm sorry.
It's your turn. Better. This is how we're gonna solve this. No, that was good. Okay, your turn.
You just gained like 5 viewers.
Yes, abuse the kids. I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't abuse no babies. Okay, so respond, please, and thank you, because I love this.
I think that was a very vague statement. You told me that you feel very specific emotions, don't do a generalized chore.
Okay.
When you don't clean the entire house, I feel angst.
Okay, that's good. And that's probably why we don't get the full effect. Okay, so when I specifically tell you a task, like when you're going to bed and I say, okay, but before you go to bed, make sure what you're supposed to do is done. So that when we wake up in the morning, I don't come out and it's not done. Is that better?
Oh, that's what you usually do. I thought you were just reiterating what you usually do. That's what you usually do now. I don't know. I mean, like I said before, I think you're doing great. There's only so much you can do. And this is a toxin to you from a parent coach who has a kid, right? So I don't know if all of y'all are listening have kids or any of you guys are my age, but at some point, y'all need to get it together because I'm talking to the kids.
Oh, the kids. I thought you were talking to the parents. We're trying.
No.
Okay.
If you're still trying, get her as your parent coach. Seriously, guys, like at some point it's just not okay. Like I'm still at the point where it's just like I got serious senioritis, and so it's just like nothing. And it's not that nothing is a priority, it's just everything is a priority, so I don't know which one to do first, so I don't do any of them. But like consider other people in the process. When you're prioritizing things, think which one will affect someone else. If it affects someone else, put it up front at the top. And so it's just like, come on now, y'all. It's about time we get together.
Sean's.
I think she was laughing at you choking me.
No.
Okay.
I think she approved. She would have done a thumbs up if that was the case. I do think that's a good idea. Okay, so you gave advice to she just gave advice to I'm going to give advice to the parents. How about she's 18.
I was supposed to say 17. Jeez Louise, I'm old.
You're about to say the wrong thing. Yeah, she's 18. And I will tell you, so two things. Number one, I actually talked to a coach today. And I know because I have a lot of experience in education from pre-K all the way to graduate school, but in really working with young people and adults who work with young people, it is more so this is the level of my expertise and below. And I'm very real with that. And so my coaches are coaches who have older children who have gone through some of the similar things. And so I'm going to share some advice that she gave me today. And then I'm going to also share some advice that I have for you as well. So the first thing is, and we're going to answer your question, LaShawn, just give us a second. The first thing is, she said, it comes a time when you have to, and I'm kind of changing it into my own words, but it's the same spirit of what she said. It comes a time when you have to trust your parenting, what you've instilled. Briana is 18 and will be heading to college. And so at this point, my parenting season for her is going to shift into a different phase. And what it now is going to shift into, empowering her that she has what she needs to be her best. So if she chooses to overwhelm her plate, she has what she needs. Now I can guide her, and if she asks me for advice, give it to her, and I can try to steer her through encouragement or through giving advice. But she's definitely in that age where it is no longer do what I say every single minute, every single day, be here, do this, do that. I hope none of your teachers are friends with me, but today she chose to do a social activity over some work that was due.
And it wasn't I chose to. It wasn't a conscious decision. Okay, I did the assignment. Didn't press submit. And hey, Instagram, hi. Relocating the cameras.
Sorry.
But yeah,
but even with that, simply what I'm saying is my response to her was now to the level of she's 18. And so my response to her was, okay, probably wasn't a good choice. You know, I said to prioritize, but maybe it was more so not even prioritizing, but not checking back to make sure it was done. And so I simply said, you know, but what's done is done. And so now it's okay, how do we recover? And so she got to really evaluate herself. So with that one, parents, trust what you've done. Our kids are going to make mistakes. They're going to make choices that are not the
Wasn't a
best.
choice.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, through everything, it was a choice. Like, you didn't check back on your work, and as a result, who wasn't submitted. But it wasn't necessarily a deliberate action of, I'm not submitting my work. I'm not saying that. So, but with that is, okay, how do we recover? At this point, and that was my question to her. Okay, instead of worrying about what we didn't do, now what do we do moving forward? And so that was a big piece of that, and just really looking at moving beyond in the parenting. What just happened? The second thing that I would say is looking at the idea of I don't even remember what my second thing is.
I'm gonna log on and see if something's up.
Okay. Y'all, something's going on wrong. All wrong. Sorry about the technical difficulties. So my encouragement for the parents is, especially as you have older children, of course, it's going to be different for each stage in the game as they're younger, as they're making different choices. So the younger children, you're going to be more hands-on. But while they're younger, teach those steps a lot deeper and go over it more intently, like smaller steps, little chunks, little bites, to really be able to address the issue.